All right, guys. Well, Disney loses some money, Moon Knight casting rumors, and a comic legend joins the writing team of Crisis on Infinite Earths. All this and more this week in Geek. All right, we're back. Welcome to the Grizzled Geek Podcast, episode 11. I'm Mike.
I'm Doug.
And we're here with your weekly roundup of nerd news. Everything you need to know that happened in a week.
Yeah.
We're going to talk about it right here.
Yeah, it was kind of a dead one.
It was kind of a dead week. There wasn't a whole lot. I mean, it was kind of like the week after Comic-Con and then Gen Con. This is kind of like the down week.
Yep.
So, unfortunately. But, you know, there is some nerd news out there, no matter what. There's so much going on. You just double check, make sure everything is working.
Yeah, looks like we're playing. I've got us up on my phone.
Oh, all right.
So we're going. I don't know why it says we're offline. Because YouTube is stupid.
YouTube is stupid.
But anyways, let's keep going. Let's go ahead and hit that first story.
Well, you want to just jump right into it? You want to talk about anything exciting happening to you this week?
Not this week.
Nothing?
Nah.
We lead boring lives. That's what's going on here. Man, I know we're both tired.
Somebody's been making me get up at 5 in the morning, which is 2 hours earlier than normal.
It is pretty damn early to be up in the morning. I agree. Probably shouldn't happen. But, yeah, guys, another, I want to start off with hey, what are we doing this week? Get caught up with each other. Wait, we've seen each other and we've done nothing all week.
Yeah.
So there's nothing new exciting. So we'll jump into story number one. Disney has 7 of the top 10 highest grossing films of all time. It had number 1, 2, and 3. They own now. The highest one of which was just this year.
Right.
However, they've lost money in the third quarter. I mean, these are operating expenses, right? But Disney reported they lost $170 million in operating losses for the third fiscal quarter. And Bob Iger was not shy about placing the blame squarely on the shoulders of the Fox franchises that they brought over. There's not... I mean, he mentioned Dark Phoenix. Dark Phoenix obviously performed horribly at the box office, but it's not alone. Like all the Fox-produced movies, the big movies that came out, all of them underperformed.
Yeah.
Since the merger.
Yeah.
So
and those are all on Disney's books.
Yeah.
And that's there is a big difference between how much money Disney makes and their operating losses. So they've made, as we pointed out in previous weeks, they've made $8 billion in the box office.
Right.
However, they also, that's obviously not profit. It's not pure profit. There's, movie production costs, advertising, all of that kind of stuff.
Right.
But they've also, taken a loss on the Fox movies. They're doing a ton of construction in the various theme parks. So there's a lot going on that can explain this loss. And I didn't go back and listen to the call, and I haven't seen a major breakdown where they discuss everything. Like, usually they'll break it down to, each division, like consumer products, how they did, how the parks did, how the film, division did, how the studio did, all that kind of stuff.
Right.
So I haven't seen what those figures look like to see where, who was making money and who wasn't in there. But in the grand scheme of things, $170 million loss is not that big a deal to Disney.
No, I mean, that's true. I mean, they just made $2 billion off of one movie.
Yeah.
So it's not. I think, like I said, these are operating costs. It's not that big a deal for them. I mean, and you got to realize the merger costs have been rolled over into the next few years.
Right.
Right. So there's, they've got that to deal with. And like I said, they planned for that with their movies they had. What they didn't plan on was the Fox movies tanking as bad as they did.
Yeah.
So in response to that, Disney has pretty much canceled all of the Fox projects.
Yeah.
That that's not out yet, which means we'll probably never see the New Mutants movie.
Yeah.
It'll probably never see the light of day.
Well, yeah, not the current one.
Yeah.
We may eventually get a New Mutants movie.
Well, the fact that it needs reshoots and stuff like that now, I don't think we're ever going to see it.
Yeah.
Especially with
No, that's what I'm saying.
Dark Phoenix.
It'll be a whole new.
Oh yeah. You won't see that movie. The movie that's filmed, the horror movie, I guess. Yeah. That movie's done. You're not going to see it.
Interesting thing about this is, I think he is literally correct in the amount of money Dark Phoenix cost versus what it made was probably around $170 million loss. So it could be.
Yeah, because it was a
you
200.
could look at it as it being solely responsible for that negative number.
That's true.
It's what pushed it to the.
If it would have broke even, if it would have made back its production costs, which includes marketing, they would not have that loss. So you're right. So and it's the first X-Men movie to tank that hard. It's the worst performing X-Men movie.
Well, yeah, because even the much maligned, what is the Wolverine?
X-Men Origin Wolverine.
The Origin movie. It made money.
Yeah.
It made a lot of money.
Oh,
even though it was crap, it made a lot of money. Well, the last hour of it was crap. I think the first hour of it was pretty good. First half.
It was
I don't know
okay. I had a very big problem with the CGI claws, which I don't even understand why the CGI claws when the practical effects claws look so good.
Yeah.
And it was not. It's like, is special effects claws harder? That's harder to do and more expensive than the practical effects claws. It looked goofy.
I
But
don't know.
anyway, yeah, you're right. I mean, story wise, it wasn't as bad till the end of it.
Yeah.
Halfway through.
Yeah, it broke down about halfway through, but
yeah. So
it started off pretty good. Pretty good concept.
Exactly. So
it has one of the best openings of any X-Men movie with that time thing with Wolverine and Sabretooth.
Yeah.
Oh man, that was awesome.
That was pretty good.
So
checking the comment. We have any comments in YouTube, because YouTube's not showing us on the screen for some reason.
Yeah.
But we're getting some comments elsewhere, so let me just double check. Comment break. All right. But there is Fox properties that they're doing. I mean, they canceled these. When they say they canceled the Fox properties, they canceled all of the Fox produced ones that are in production now.
Yes,
that are not come out yet. So they're
come on, let's be honest. They probably were crap in production anyway.
Yeah,
so
that's true.
Start from scratch. Throw it out and start over.
So we've seen all the Fox properties that Disney did not have a hand or did not solely have a hand in that we're going to see.
Okay.
So 21st Century Fox done. Any Fox products coming out now are pretty much Disney products.
Yeah.
Ones that they do have a hand in. And what will those products be? Well, they've kind of mentioned this in the same investors meeting. Obviously, Avatar.
Yeah, we knew that was coming.
Deadpool. I mean, we knew about those because they were. Well, we knew Avatar before, but we knew Deadpool was on the company website the day of the announcement, the day it finally went through.
Yep.
Planet of the Apes, Fantastic Four. We know X-Men will be back eventually, but probably a little further down the line.
Yeah.
But they're also doing a lot of family-friendly stuff too. They mentioned a bunch of remakes of a bunch of stuff, including like Diary of a Wimpy Kid and Home Alone. To which I will say Macaulay Culkin had the best tweet for what an update of Home Alone would look like with him on his couch with his gut out and his laptop. That was pretty awesome. Go check out Macaulay Culkin's tweet, and I would have had a picture of it for you here if I had time to prepare it. But yeah, so they're doing a whole bunch of stuff. They got plans. Now there's no word on what of those things will be movies, what will be Disney Plus shows. Yeah. We don't know. I'm assuming a lot of the family-friendly stuff will probably be like a Diary of a Wimpy Kid, probably Disney Plus TV series.
I don't know.
The movies were successful.
They've had a couple of the movies. And there's plenty of the books, I believe, that they don't need to reboot. They just
recast.
We just got to recast and keep going.
Keep going. Yep. Yeah. But they've got a bunch of Fox properties coming out, but they also came out and announced basically their direct challenge to Netflix with this amazing package deal here.
Yeah.
So the package deal, because we knew Disney Plus was coming out, and we knew it was going to be about, they said $8 around there. It was actually, Disney Plus is $6.99 a month for just Disney Plus. Right. But they have a package that's the same price as the best price for Netflix, which is $12.99. That includes Disney Plus, Hulu, and ESPN Plus.
Now, which version of Hulu is this?
This is with commercials.
Okay.
So,
which I think is the basic one
that
I have.
Yeah.
Which is in itself $10 currently.
Currently $10.
So
now, why are you paying for that when you get?
I could care less about ESPN Plus, but why not bundle that when I'm going to save $4 right off the bat?
Right.
By getting,
because you already have Hulu and you're already buying Disney Plus.
Yeah. Just
get the package here, and we're all for $12.99 a month. I mean, come on. Yeah, that's an amazing package, and that is a direct challenge to Netflix.
Yeah,
that is a lot of content.
Yeah, I mean, it is. Yeah, because Hulu does have a lot. I mean, it is kind of half and half. I would say, current versus, catalog.
Yeah.
I mean, I use it mostly for catalog. I don't watch current TV on Hulu, but
right.
Which, I mean, the one thing I do watch on Hulu is occasionally Raw or SmackDown, but it's a abbreviated version, so it's kind of weird. It's not the full 2 or 3 hours, whatever it is.
Wow.
It's like a 1 hour condensed version. So it's kind of like, okay, that's weird, but all right, I'll go for it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I mean, I watched like Runaways on Hulu. I watch a few things on Hulu, and pretty much Bob's Burgers. We watch all the Fox shows we watch on Hulu. So
yeah,
but Disney is losing money. They lost money on operating expenses, but also losing money elsewhere too. They've come out and admitted that Galaxy's Edge is in fact underperforming. So, and not the same meeting, but there's another related article. Star Wars merchandising has dropped again for the 4th year in a row.
Merchandise in general?
In general. I'm not talking Galaxy's Edge, because, I probably saw it, but it only has, 3 months worth of numbers. But, there was, in general, the merch, which is the backbone of the money-making power of Star Wars.
Yeah.
It's what Star Wars made all its money on, is all the merchandising. It's what made George Lucas rich. Mm-hmm. One of the richest men in Hollywood is the merchandise of Star Wars. And it was a big reason why Star Wars got purchased, for the merchandise, because Disney knows how to merchandise stuff.
Yeah.
However, 4th year in a row, drop. And Galaxy's Edge underperforming. Now, he did point out the same things we pointed out. The reason why it's underperforming is that there was an increase in ticket prices this year. Again, they've
That's not it.
They blocked out.
That's it.
They blocked out the season passes.
Yeah.
For a while there, but it
was only half done.
Yeah, and we're missing one of the two major rides out of there.
A lot of people are waiting.
Yeah, a lot of people are waiting now. When Orlando opens up and it's going to have the full thing, we'll see. Well,
they're opening just like Disneyland this month, end of this month.
Oh, are they? Okay.
And then in December they get the Rise of the Resistance ride as well. So I believe you will see a massive uptick in December.
December is when you're doing it? Yeah. Do you think is there any reason you think maybe part of the Rise of Resistance will have maybe spoilers for Rise of Skywalker?
I doubt it.
Because they're releasing it, or they're just waiting to release that with the movie?
They're actually, I think their goal is to rush it to be done for holidays at Disney World.
Okay.
Because holidays in Disney World are a huge deal, much bigger deal than in Disneyland.
Right.
Because like I said, Disneyland is primarily the locals park, and they don't need like holiday events to keep people coming back to Disneyland.
Right.
But Disney World, all of the events that happen during the holidays, those bring in people. So if you add this in, it's going to bring even more people into the parks during that time. So I think they purposely opened it there first to get that holiday crowd, and then they're like, oh, we'll wait until January for Disneyland to get it. And I think you'll see a bigger uptick.
So what about the merchandising? Do you think this is a sign of Star Wars fatigue, or the fact that it doesn't translate to the current generation of kids that it was marketed towards like it did back in our day?
Yeah, I think honestly, I think it's a failure of the new trilogy to catch on.
Yeah. Here's the thing, man. As far as Disney Star Wars movies goes, I don't hate them like everybody else does, but I think that
they don't have the same magic.
They don't have the same magic.
The Star Wars. They don't even have the same magic as the prequels. Now, objectively, I think The Force Awakens is better than the first two prequel movies.
Right.
I don't know that it's better.
Here's the thing, like Rogue One was an amazing movie.
Yeah.
Right? But I think Jedi's the reason why Solo failed.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was so bad that it trailed over into Solo.
I think so.
Because Solo's not a bad movie.
No, I think Solo's a pretty good movie.
Yeah, I mean, it just failed because everyone's, just boycotting that because they didn't want,
That, and it was a movie, like you said at the time, nobody really wanted an origin story of Han Solo. We didn't think we needed it.
We did not need that.
So I think in that sense, people were, all right, The Last Jedi upset me, and I'm not buying into this, so I'm not going to go see it.
Right.
So, anyways.
And all that leads to the fact that
and these movies just aren't, they're not conducive to the merchandising like the old ones were.
Yeah.
Because there's a ton of inconsequential characters that they just don't really translate into the toys well, or haven't even tried to translate them into the toys well.
Right.
Because when I was a kid, I got all the stuff in Star Wars. I wanted, Admiral Piet, and I wanted, a Bespin Guard, and there were all of these different guys who were just background characters, but they were cool enough and present enough in the movies for you to care about them and want them there. So they just haven't done that with these new movies. You've got the main cast and Phasma, First Order Stormtroopers, the Praetorian Guard guys,
they don't have,
and that's it.
Yeah, it's just
you don't even care about anybody on the good guy side, and there's nobody who's been featured enough other than the main three characters,
right,
that you're going to make a figure on.
Can you see a kid asking for a General Hux figure? No. I mean, really?
No. I can't.
But I had a Grand Moff Tarkin figure, I can tell you that.
Yeah.
So.
I mean, I sent away for an Emperor Palpatine figure, because the only way you could get him at first was to send away stuff. So George just did such a better job of tying the merchandise into the movies.
Yeah.
And making you feel like you could reenact the movies based on that.
Yeah.
And toys these days are in many ways far superior to what we had.
Yeah.
But not as cool.
Not as cool.
And honestly, you shouldn't be measuring them by figures people buy. You should be it's measured by, do people buy into the video games and stuff like that, because that's where merchandising now for these games is.
Right. For us, it was action figures, and
figures and models and stuff like that. Nowadays, it's electronic stuff.
Yeah, but nowadays, far more people have lightsabers.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
you know what I mean.
That as far
as Galaxy's Edge goes, man, they can't keep product in stock there.
Yeah,
I mean, that's the one thing people. I mean, and numbers may be down for people attending, but the people that go are buying up all their stuff.
Yeah. They ran out of product for a while at one point.
Yeah.
Of certain things. But yeah.
They sold 3 times as many of the life-size R2-D2 remote control things that they expected to, because they put that out there for, I think it was like $3,000 for that thing.
No, the actual life-size one, it's like $20,000.
$20,000.
I could be wrong on that, but it was
they had it out
huge.
there just in case someone crazy wanted it.
It was a huge amount,
and they sold 5 times as many as they predicted they would actually sell.
And now I've got to look that up. Let us find out
how much is that thing.
How much the?
Because granted, it's a life-size remote control, R2-D2, which is pretty awesome.
Yeah.
But is it $20,000 awesome? I don't know. I know it's some crazy number that I'm like, well, I'll never own one. But
let's see. Got to put Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah. But but a lot of that stuff is collector stuff, right? It's not toys necessarily. It's like they have so many, I watch some of the merchandise that they have.
25,000.
25,000.
I think.
Wow.
That's the most expensive thing you can get is purchase the life-size R2-D2, 25,000. It's the most expensive thing you can buy in Galaxy's Edge.
Yeah. I think they had one, and then everyone else had to wait for them to be ordered or whatever. But the fact that there's that many bought out there, I'm like, I don't know. But yeah, a lot of that merchandising is like for hardcore fans, right? It's collectible stuff. It's it's not.
Yeah, and that's the underperformance of Galaxy's Edge was entirely of Disney's doing.
Yeah.
Because the hardcore fans came in droves for the first few weeks.
Yeah.
But they should have banked on, and they could have banked on that.
Yeah.
But they should have realized that those people were going to be there the first 2 weeks it opened. And that after that, the general public who hadn't already planned their trip would probably wait for the rest of the land to be open.
Yeah.
Or would just avoid.
They're not locals. They can't, it's a trip to Disneyland.
Yeah. They should have, at that point, cleared the passes to go.
Yeah.
But they didn't. They held them off for a very long time. And that, I think, caused. And. They set up this expectation that things were going to be crazy.
Yeah.
And that kept people away from the parks in general.
Right.
Disneyland was
That's why
dead for
you
2
saw those
months.
videos of those people just having 5-minute waits for all the major rides. And you're like, really?
Disneyland, aside from Galaxy's Edge, was dead for 2 months.
Yeah. If you happen to be in the area and went to Disneyland, man, you got it.
Yeah.
It was an awesome day. You got on all the rides that day.
Yeah.
But despite all of this news, don't weep for Disney.
Yeah, they're gonna be okay.
They're gonna be okay. They just hit the $8 billion at the box office, like I said, in August.
Yeah.
Right? And the record
By the beginning of
the record
August.
was 6.7
and they've
before this
still
year.
got 3 major movies.
3 major
4?
movies. Yeah, they got Maleficent, Frozen 2, and Star Wars.
Yeah.
I mean,
so yeah, they could
hit a record just like with Avengers. They could hit a record that's not going to be matched for a while. Yeah.
And part of this operating loss probably comes from all of the massive amounts of construction they're doing in all of their parks.
Yes.
3 of the parks, I think, are working on Marvel Lands.
Yeah.
Epcot is getting a major overhaul right now. Galaxy's Edge is still kind of being worked on. And so there's a lot going on.
Yeah.
Construction-wise in the parks, so they are spending a lot of money.
This company throws billions around like nothing. 170 million is not a problem.
Yeah,
I'm sure none of those investors sweated this statement. Like, all right,
oh, I'm out. I'm selling.
No, I'm selling. Sell Disney because I think they're not gonna last. Yeah. No, they own everything.
Yeah.
All right, so we spent like half hour on the first story.
Well,
we're kind of passionate about Disney and Star Wars.
And to be honest, the other ones, I am a big fan of Moon Knight, which could be the next big hero added to the Marvel Cinematic Universe. Mm-hmm. Aside from the Eternals, who we don't.
Right. Well, we know they are definitely working on Moon Knight.
Yeah.
And what's going on here is none of this is confirmed stuff, but it comes from very
and we
reputable
have
sources.
no idea when it's coming.
Right.
Just that they're working on it. So,
Probably not till Phase 5, but Phase 5 is only in 2 years. So
yeah, that's true. So the big question now is who's going to play Mark Spector. We know Keanu Reeves is up for a role in the MCU. We don't know what.
Which he would be perfect for this role, but
I don't know if he would be.
all the butt kicking martial arts kind of thing.
Yeah.
Just for those of you who don't know, Moon Knight is basically the Marvel Batman.
To a degree.
To a degree. I mean, he's their answer to Batman.
He is their answer to Batman if you actually played up on all of the psychosis that Batman should have.
Should have, yeah, because
Like, he's got multiple personality disorder,
Yeah.
and he may or may not have magical
Powers of a
that
god,
you're kind of.
Yeah.
Does he?
Is it
Does
in
he
his
not?
head? Is he? Yeah. He's
So-
such a great character, such a juicy character to,
Yeah.
I would to see have Marvel do right. Like, I would have loved him in a Netflix series, which is what they originally proposing. They were trying to
Yeah.
get him into season 2 of Iron Fist.
Oh, Iron Fist. Okay.
Yeah, but it didn't work out. But
Yeah, I mean, he does somewhat have the kind of the Bruce Wayne-ish profile. He's a former mercenary who's rich now
Yeah.
and kind of has that playboy bachelor personality, but he was always portrayed as more of a kind of a ruggedly handsome kind of guy, like a Indiana Jones or a John Wayne kind of person, not a Bruce Wayne,
Yeah.
like traditionally handsome,
right.
well manicured kind of guy. So anyways, he's one that could be in there, but I'm betting he's got a bit
No, they're
higher.
saying it's up to these next two. One of these next two.
He's probably up for a higher profile. So the other ones that are possibilities are former Spider-Man Andrew Garfield, or my preference of these two, Joseph Gordon-Levitt.
Yeah. Now, both of these are really good actors.
Yeah.
So, I mean, we're talking. Isn't it funny that we're talking these kind of level actors for Moon Knight?
Yeah.
That's the kind of power Marvel has at this
Yep.
point. They're like,
Yeah, like-
I want into Marvel. I don't care what.
Yeah, I don't give me. Apparently Marvel wants to cast a Jewish actor for the role to match the character. Honestly, I never knew Moon Knight was a Jewish character.
Yeah, I'm like, what?
It never came up in any of the stories I read.
I think that's a little too far. I mean, I understand. Obviously, you want to keep racially appropriate for the character. You don't want to change stuff up, unless he's white, of course. Then you can change it whatever you want. But I mean, to change someone, like, we got to cast someone as Jewish. Like, is acting going to be a thing anymore?
Yeah.
No, we got to find the person that is that thing now. I mean,
to my knowledge, I've not read Moon Knight in 10 years probably.
Right.
So I have not read the most recent stuff. To my knowledge, being Jewish was never a major part of his character, in that it informed how he behaved.
well, even if it was,
He thought he had the power of an Egyptian god, so
Right.
he certainly wasn't.
well, even if he was, like, someone could play a Jew. Would it matter really?
Right. Yeah.
Well, not like it's hard to find good Jewish actors, I guess. in
Well,
Hollywood.
we listed two right here,
We listed
apparently.
two right there. So, yeah.
Again, just give it to the best person for the role.
Yeah.
Which, hey, Joseph Gordon-Levitt, I'm good with him.
Yeah. I mean, Andrew Garfield, obviously, I think we're both in the same agreement here out of the two.
He just doesn't look the part for me.
Yeah.
He doesn't feel the part. He feels like too boyish for it.
He's too
And I loved.
he's too handsome.
Well, I wouldn't necessarily go that route. He looks too young and.
Right. Which is odd that we're saying that he looks too young as opposed to Joseph Gordon-Levitt, who came up as like a child star on.
Yeah. But his role in last Batman movie was great. I loved him.
Dark Knight Rises, yeah. He was good.
Anyways.
It's one of the best parts about that movie.
Yeah, so there you go, Moon Knight.
All right. Now on over to DC. But the good DC, not the
the
TV
TV version of DC.
DCFU, yeah. TV. Crisis on Infinite Earth.
I mean, yeah, the CW DC is doing everything right.
Oh yeah.
Oh my gosh.
And you're like, because unlike the movies, they actually have Berlanti, one person in charge of all of it, right, to bring it together here. Crisis on Infinite Earths Arrowverse crossover is going to be huge. I mean, they tease this for a year now. The last crossover was Elseworlds or whatever, and it introduced the Monitor, and they basically said, yeah, a Crisis is coming, right? They basically told us a year in advance what this crossover would be this year.
All right.
And obviously, Crisis on Infinite Earths is one of the biggest comic book events in DC. It was in early 80s. It's back when DC had so many continuities that didn't match up. They had a Golden Age Superman, then they had a Silver Age Superman who was different, then they had a Modern Age Superman. And it was just, they were all different characters because they were so old, they had to reboot those characters because DC was around in the 40s.
No, even earlier than
Earlier than that, 30s, yeah, for Superman. So, yeah, these characters they changed. The times have changed. They had to update these characters every so often, right?
Right.
Unlike Marvel, where they've just kind of like ignored that and just kind of slipped them through time into from the 60s into the 80s or whatever they needed those origins to be. But this was huge. So this was their big earth-shattering thing where they destroyed these other universes, right? And it had one solidified universe. So there was some characters from Golden Age, some characters from Silver Age, some characters from other Earths or whatever.
Right.
But it brought down, they had one Superman, one Wonder Woman, one Green Lantern, and that was what the storyline was. So with that in mind, what's going to happen in the CW verse, right? Well, we know one character his series is getting canceled, the one whose show this whole universe is named after.
Yeah.
Green Arrow himself. So he could probably die there. But we got some big news. Let's go over some of the news here because this is amazing here. One of the big things cool for me is Marv Wolfman, the writer from the original Crisis on Infinite Earths series, has joined the writing team. He's helping write this thing. So the guy who wrote the original comic is now writing the TV series.
That's cool.
So that's amazing. We're not only getting Tyler Hoechlin return as Superman, but we're getting former Superman Brandon Routh as the Kingdom Come Superman. Not just come back as Superman, but the Superman from Kingdom Come, which is an amazing graphic novel from Alex Ross. I mean,
it'll be interesting to see how they play that because the Kingdom Come version of Superman is pretty much all powerful.
Right. Now, here's the thing. Brandon Routh Superman, we played Superman. That movie, I actually liked that movie. I liked him as Superman. He looked just like Christopher Reeve, right?
You mean Homewrecker Superman?
Homewrecker Superman, right. Other than a few things. I liked...
The story had some issues, but
I like Kevin Spacey as Lex Luthor. I mean, if I can say that anymore.
Yeah.
But, I mean, he was good. But they didn't have a bad guy. They didn't have, like, something super for him to fight. Right? Yeah. So, I mean, I think that would have elevated... And tone back the creepiness a little bit there. And him stalking Lois Lane. But yeah, I mean, so him, and he also is doing double duty because he's also Ray Palmer, the Atom.
Yeah.
So I wonder how they're gonna mention
to see how they do that.
They're gonna mention that. But he's not the only one. We're getting a ton. We're getting like even as far back as we're getting Burt Ward, original Robin from the '60s. Television series is coming back. I don't know if he's playing Robin.
Yeah, he's in.
But he's in it.
He's doing something.
Yeah, Linda Carter's back, and the rumors are that we're not sure who she's playing. The other one is saying she's reprising a role as a Wonder Woman.
That'd be cool.
We don't know. I don't care. The fact she's in it, I'm a fan. Plus a ton of other hero alum surprises that they haven't mentioned yet. So who knows? I'm sure we're gonna,
That'll be interesting to see
some cool guys. It'll be Black Lightning's first team up, first crossover with this universe, because they've kind of kept Black Lightning separate. I mean, I wasn't even sure it was the same universe. I mean, Berlanti's overseeing that, but it's whether
he's someplace in the multiverse.
He's somewhere in the multiverse.
Yeah,
and this will be his first crossover with these other heroes, which would be awesome. And probably the biggest news that's got everybody excited is not only we're going to have Batman in this, but we're going to have the Batman, Kevin Conroy, the iconic voice actor from Batman the Animated Series. He is the iconic voice of Batman.
Right.
If you think of Batman's voice, that's him. He's got that voice that if you hear it, you're like, oh, that's Batman. I mean, he could be like ordering pizza. It's like Batman's ordering pizza. But he's going to play live action Bruce Wayne in this. So
we may or may not see Batman, but we will definitely see Bruce Wayne.
We'll actually see Bruce Wayne, which will... for the first time actually in the Arrowverse. They've alluded to him several times.
Yeah, then what was it? Season 1 or 2 of The Flash? They had a phone that had Bruce on it.
and
Bruce and Hal and
Bruce, Hal, and Superman, Clark.
Yeah.
But yeah, so it's going to be a huge event. But
that's cool.
Yep.
I'm looking forward to it. All right, you're a jerk.
I honestly didn't even plan this one. But
Venom 2 has some big news. It was announced earlier this week that Andy Serkis will be directing, but now Serkis talks a little about the movie, which includes the news that Tom Hardy is co-writing the script. Michelle Williams is confirmed to return and teases more of She-Venom, which was cool.
Yeah.
It was good. And everyone looking at to take the film in a different direction, which...
What I got from that, from what I hear reading the article, is they want to tone down on some of the silliness and then ramp up the action a little bit more. I mean, he's going to be facing Carnage in this.
Oh, well.
Obviously,
probably the best Venom bad guy.
Yeah.
I know they came out with other symbiotes afterwards, but it just...
Yeah, they're just...
It's diminishing returns when you do that.
Yeah.
Carnage is awesome.
Yeah. Venom's cool. Carnage is awesome.
Yeah.
After that, it just gets goofy. But what we won't see in that is Spider-Man. Because...
Good.
We did point out that Spider-Man obviously crossed the $1 billion mark.
Yeah.
And we're saying how that's Sony's money instead of Disney's money.
Yeah.
Because that was the deal they worked out. But the great thing about that is as long as Spider-Man continues to hit certain levels, which obviously he did, Marvel retains creative rights for Spider-Man. Right? So Sony can't use Spider-Man in any of their stuff. Or that's not cool. Without Marvel's permission. And none of their stuff will be in the Marvel Universe, obviously, without Marvel's permission. So Marvel has final say on when and where Spider-Man is going to be used and what all the creative control over it. Mm-hmm. So, but all right, guys, that does it for our regular stories that we have. Now on to our smaller stories, our nerd nuggets, Doug's favorite part of the show. And we'll start off with. I guess these are the minor stories. Marvel and ABC are actively developing a new female-led superhero show, which I believe this was announced like a year ago. I think we said it on the show here that they were thinking about it.
Yeah.
But now that we know this next half of the season or next season will be S.H.I.E.L.D.'s last, now they're actively. Now the article mentioned like Dawnstar, some of the New Mutants. Who's the Indian girl from the New Mutants?
Yeah.
It's always Dawn something or
Dawn's. Yeah.
I forget what her name was.
Or
something like that. Her
Moonstar.
Yeah. It was
no, that doesn't sound right.
Now we don't know. One of the new mutants and She-Hulk. Right now we don't know whether those two are actually ones being developed for this or whether they were just two female characters that they Googled. Right. But what they did mention was that they're looking to bring back semi-new characters to the Marvel Universe, right? Into the Marvel Universe. Now, the question I have is this under Feige or not? Because ABC was always the realm of,
Daniela Moonstar.
Yeah, Moonstar. So we were right. Doug was right. But, they mentioned those two in the article, but like I said, we don't know whether that was because those are the ones that they're developing or they're just some random females that you Googled. Yeah. So
I've seen different things. At some place they say like female-led superhero show, and then sometimes it's female super team. So it's like, is it one?
Yeah.
Is it one or multiple? What are we doing?
Yeah. Well, we'll find out in the next year because it's the replacement for S.H.I.E.L.D. But speaking of S.H.I.E.L.D., it's another story that this last season of S.H.I.E.L.D. is going to get Agent Carter back. So Agent Carter, who had her own spinoff show,
that's the rumor. That she will be in it.
In some capacity.
That'd be cool.
This was an accident too. I didn't realize. You dug all the best stories.
Yeah. Joker movie described as cinematic achievement on a high level by Cameron Bailey, who's probably a pretentious prick. The head and artistic director of the Toronto International Film Festival. There's already Oscar buzz surrounding the project.
Now, what I will say about this is that everybody who's seen it is saying, as they brought this Oscar buzz, right?
Yeah.
Saying, But I mean, it's Joaquin Phoenix, who is an amazing actor.
Yeah.
Right. And I'm sure this is. I mean, you're taking a really dark. My problem with this is not Joker. This is not comic book Joker. It has nothing to do with any of the comic books. This is a retelling of a character who they're going to have kind of like has nothing to do with the major DC universe.
Right.
Right. Yeah. This takes place in the late 70s, early 80s. Right. And it's just, I'm sure it's like if they did this movie about a psycho, you know.
Yeah, you didn't have to call this Joker.
Right.
It could have been about anybody who had this mental breakdown.
Right.
Because
I'm sure it's a good movie.
Psychotic character. And it probably would have been just fine. Right. But it's not Joker.
But it's like, but you're making it Joker, and that comes with its own baggage that we have issues with. But yeah. All right, so the new Titans Season 2 trailer showed us Bruce Wayne, Superboy, Crypto, Aqualad, and Deathstroke. Now, I'm gonna watch it just because. I mean, I watched all of Season 1, and like I said, I liked everybody except for the main Titans cast, right? Yeah. So they still have Hawk and Dove, right? And then all these other characters. I liked Wonder Girl. Didn't call
Donna Troy.
Donna Troy. They didn't call her Wonder Girl, but yeah, these are all kids back in when it was Teen Titans, but now they're just the Titans. And I got to say, Jorah Mormont as Bruce Wayne was pretty cool. See, older Bruce Wayne. But yeah, I'm excited. I don't want to say I'm excited. I'm hopeful that they fix these characters.
Yeah.
The main Titans cast, and if not, there's plenty of other ones that I actually like. So. I like Robin. They just need to tone down on the angst a little bit. Yeah. But
and I really wish if you were going to do Deathstroke that they had done the Terra Nova story.
Yeah. That's a classic Titans.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah.
It's really good. Yeah. So anyways, all right, moving on to our next one, since these are supposed to be short stories. Phil Lord and Chris Miller of, I was going to say of Han Solo fame.
Han Solo infamy and Lego fame.
Yes.
And they were producers of Into the SpiderVerse.
Oh, all right. There you go. They've been hired to develop live-action TV shows based on Sony's Spider-Man characters. No word on who, but it will be several series that share a universe like the Netflix Marvel shows.
Right. So this is Spider-Verse without Spider-Man. But the great thing about this is, and I don't have a problem with this like I do the movies, is so much in the fact that, one, there's plenty of other Spider-Man characters they can use. They can have Miles Morales TV show. They have a Spider-Gwen TV show, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't affect the Marvel universe. Those are still cool characters. I mean,
true. Yeah.
It's just when they start doing movies like, Mobius the Living Vampire. I'm like, why are we doing a movie like that?
Yeah.
I'm like, I don't.
Yeah, he's a background.
Yeah. No, Sony, because they own Spider-Man, and they own 900. I didn't know there was that many. 900 characters associated with Spider-Man. Not all of them like relevant, like superheroes or whatever, bad guys or anything.
Right. Yeah. But J. Jonah Jameson.
Yeah, exactly. 900 characters. But out of those, I can think of maybe 10 that are worth anything. Right. The rest are all so extraneous and goofy minor guys. That,
I mean, you could do a Silver Sable because they wanted to do that at some point. So you could do Silver Sable here because she's a Spider-Man adjacent character.
Yep.
I wonder if, I don't know who else.
They got Black Cat. They got Silver Sable.
Yeah, Black Cat. Everybody's gonna scream Catwoman,
right?
Because she is just a Catwoman
she
ripoff.
That'd be a cool Otto Octavius series. Behind. That would be kind of. If you're talking about a bad guy series, I could see him because he's somewhat sympathetic and somewhat. He's just an interesting character, I think.
Yeah.
So, but
interesting. All right. Well, we'll see what happens.
Yeah, we'll see. All right. So this next one comes from Kevin Smith, who's in the know a lot more than you would expect someone who made Clerks and would be. Yeah. But he said the Snyder Cut for Justice League does exist. However, they estimated it would cost about $40 million to complete it. Now, at some point down the line, I think that there's enough interest in it that they could probably. I mean, because you look at it this way.
To risk $40 million, is there $40 million worth of interest?
I think a Snyder cut of Justice League would make $40 million. Because you got to look at it this way. The other movies came and made its money and gone, right? Or didn't make its money and it's gone.
Diamond.
So this would basically be like a whole movie for $40 million. It's like if you had a budget of a movie of $40 million, right? You don't think this thing would make, I
don't know that they would release it in theaters. They might put it out on video or on a.
But for $40 million, then you have to sell a lot of videos for that, though. But
yeah, true. So I don't know.
And maybe like a week engagement, like for people that want to see it in theaters for a week. I bet they'd make its money back in a week.
It could. I'm not going to say absolutely will never happen, but my money is against it.
Right. We'd go see it if it came out in theaters, but, And here's the thing. You got to realize, the Snyder Cut, it'd be probably better than the mess we got with, the patched together mess we got that Whedon was under the gun about and had all the, studio direction on. But it's still... Yeah. This is still the guy who brought us, emo Superman and,
Here's the thing, it's
still going to be dark and...
Yeah, that's the problem.
And the best part about Superman was how light, or Justice League is how light Whedon made Superman, brought him back to what the character he's supposed to be.
Assuming that was...
I'm assuming that's Whedon.
Yeah. I mean, honestly... I don't think Justice League was as bad as people made it out to be, other than the villain being cartoonishly badly animated.
It was bad.
And his motivation sucked, and it was just kind of stupid.
Cyborg got the shaft.
But I liked the character moments. Yeah, Cyborg did get the shaft. He got the shaft in that he wasn't introduced in another.
Yeah.
In another movie, and isn't as compelling a character as the Flash.
My only problem is that there's pretty much the end action scene was awesome, right? All the scenes were awesome. I liked it all. However, after watching it, you're like, why did they need anybody but Superman?
Yeah.
They could have just sent Superman in there, take care of this guy.
Yeah. Yeah.
And he showed up the Flash saving people. He showed up the guys they said to take the box apart, he went up and did that for them. They couldn't beat, Steppenwolf. He had to go beat him. He did everything. Go back and watch the end of that movie. Superman did all of it.
It was. Yeah.
So
that was probably my least favorite part of the.
Yeah.
He made every other character extraneous at the end.
Yeah.
And you're just like, wow, okay.
But I like I liked when they fought him and they showed how superior he was with them.
Yeah.
That was cool. But in the end, when it was just, Anyway, how do we get off for Justice League here? All right.
All right, last story. Marvel's Runaways will cross over with Cloak and Dagger in their third season.
This should have been from the get-go. But this is,
yeah.
These two teenage shows. I mean, the first season I understand is getting their footing.
Yeah.
But after, and here, disclaimer, I've only seen first season of Runaways and the first season of Cloak and Dagger.
Haven't seen any.
And Cloak and Dagger didn't get to be themselves until the end of first season.
Oh, okay.
So
I like Cloak and Dagger as characters from the comic books. I have not watched the show. I don't even know what network it's on or where you can get it. It's on Hulu. Okay.
Yeah, same as Runaways.
I guess I could watch them if I had time to watch TV, but I don't.
Runaways is awesome. No, I mean, I the characters they just nail from the graphic novel.
Oh, that's good.
So
I like when they do get that.
Yeah. So they're pretty cool. Well, there you have it, folks. Not much of managed to stretch.
Yeah,
we can talk about anything when it's like nerd stuff. We're like, I'll just blather on.
Disney gave us a lot to talk about.
Yeah.
But
yes, Disney losing money.
Yeah.
So sad. But there you have it. All your nerd news. What there was of it. We'll be back again next week. Maybe again at a later time, or maybe it's 7 instead of 7:30.
We shall see.
We shall see. I got
be a little fluid.
Yeah, I'm getting out of work at different times.
Yeah.
So on Thursdays. So we will see. But we'll put an announcement on Facebook. So take a look out there for us. Mm-hmm. Please like, subscribe, share with your friends. People know about the podcast. If you watching this later, obviously this will be up right afterwards, but all the information will be up on it tomorrow, Friday. On Saturday, we'll put this up on our where you get your regular podcasts at what are we on?
iTunes and Stitcher.
And Stitcher. Okay, you can get the podcast there. That's honestly where most people We'll listen to these.
I think so.
So, all right, guys, really appreciate it. If you want to support the channel and the things that we do here, Doug, how can they help us out?
Well, hopefully Mike's going to put some links in the description of the video when it's up on YouTube tomorrow. You can go to our Teespring store, go through our Amazon affiliate link, do some shopping there. It's probably the easiest way you can support us.
Yeah.
Just do your normal shopping. Just
Doesn't
use our
cost you
link.
anything extra.
Yeah. Or you can check us out on Patreon.
Yep. All right, guys. Thank you very much, and we'll see you next week. And I believe I don't know who's singing us out. Is it our local folk hero Andy Warpigs? Probably. All right, guys.
Bye.
We'll see you next time.
We're done. My leg's done.
Cool. That first take was great.
No, yeah, I think it might have been good.
Yeah.
It's been like 4 hours.
Limitations.
Yeah.
And we turned this into a workshop. It's fucking insane.
Yeah, I think we did like 20 songs today. Well, 20 takes of songs.
Fuck.